Welcome in. Today we're breaking down a classic NFC East rivalry game that was, well, it was really like two completely different games played in about 3 hours.
Oh, absolutely. We're talking about that incredible Cowboys comeback against the Philadelphia Eagles. It was a game defined by just a mountain of mistakes, followed by sheer grit.
A historic rally that, I don't think anyone saw coming.
And that's our mission here. We've got the play-by-play, the quotes. We want to figure out how exactly did the Cowboys flip the script so completely after that, truly dreadful start.
It was more than just a win. Final score, 24-21 Cowboys. But the context is everything. They were down 21-0.
21. That comeback tied a franchise record for the largest in team history. That's the hole they dug for themselves.
It really sets up this perfect sports story. And I think you have to start with the mindset, right? Coach Brian Schottenheimer said it perfectly.
Yeah, his quote really frames the whole thing. A game can't be won in the first, second, or third quarters. It can be won only in the fourth quarter.
And what a fourth quarter it was. The climax, of course, was Brandon Aubrey, their kicker. He just drills a 42-yard field goal right as the clock hits 0.
His second game winner of the season. That kick instantly makes this comeback legendary.
But to really get a feel for the comeback, you have to look at how bad the start was. How did they get down 21-0 in just the first 18 minutes?
It was a collapse.
Yeah.
A rapid, self-inflicted collapse.
It was a true comedy of errors. Just gift-wrapped field position and all the momentum for the Eagles.
Okay, so let's walk through it. It starts right on the opening drive. Cowboys have the ball. It's 4-3 at midfield.
And they go for it and fail. Turnover on downs. Right away.
Immediately, the Eagles capitalize. Jalen Hurts hits A.J. Brown, touchdown. The defense just wasn't there.
And then the mistakes just pile on. The penalties, that's what really killed them.
The roughing the punter call, that was a big one. Ryan Flournoy, the player, he argued he tipped the ball.
And the replays showed he was right. He did tip it. But the team, they didn't challenge it. They didn't even call a timeout to, take a look.
That's not just a player error. That's a sideline mistake. You can't let that stand in a game this big. It just gifted them a first down.
And what happens right after that?
Of course. An offsides penalty on the defense, another free chance. And, predictably, Jalen Hurts runs it in for their second touchdown.
So the defense is a mess. The coaching seems a little hesitant. And then the offense decides to join in.
Oh, yeah. Kevontae Turpin's fumble. It was just a clean handoff in the second quarter, and he just drops it. Sets the Eagles up for their third score.
Which came from that tush-push play.
An unstoppable play, yeah.
Yeah.
Hurts gets a second rushing score. Now it's 21-0. And then came the moment that, for me, felt like the game was truly over.
The goal line disaster.
Ugh. It was brutal. The Cowboys finally put together a great drive. They get all the way down to the 1-yard line. They're about to score.
And then a false start. Pushes them back to the 6.
And right after that, Dak Prescott throws an interception in the end zone.
Just 0 points after marching the entire length of the field. At that point, it felt like they were completely broken.
It did. But that's where the pivot begins. And it started with one crucial score right before the half.
Prescott to George Pickens with just 21 seconds left. That cut the lead to 21-7.
Schottenheimer said that was the key moment. It wasn't just the points, it was the proof. It showed they could score on this defense. They walked into that locker room with a little bit of life.
And the second half was a totally different game. It was all about the Cowboys' defense.
Completely. After giving up touchdowns on the first 3 drives, they didn't allow another single point for the rest of the game. That's how you get 24 unanswered points.
So how did they do it? What was the adjustment?
They suffocated the run. It was a clear strategic shift. They basically forced the Eagles to become a one-dimensional passing team.
You can see it in Saquon Barkley's stats. He was a complete non-factor.
He was. They held him to just 22 yards on 10 carries. That's, 2.2 yards a carry? His lowest total as an Eagle.
So they just committed to stopping the run, dared Hurts to beat them with his arm.
Exactly. A really aggressive 4-man front. They seal the edges. They clog the inside. It completely broke the rhythm of that Eagles offense.
Now, it wasn't a perfect comeback at first. There was a little symmetry in the struggles, you could say.
Yeah, that was interesting. In the third quarter, Brandon Aubrey, who is usually automatic, he actually misses a 51-yarder, pulls it left.
And the score stays 21-7.
But then, turnabout is fair play.
Yeah.
Fourth quarter, the Eagles are trying to put the game away. Their kicker, Jake Elliott, lines up for a 56-yarder.
And he pushes it wide right.
Mm-hmm. Those missed kicks just canceled each other out.
Yeah.
It kept the game within reach for the offense.
Which brings us to the final act. Prescott ties the game with that incredible 8-yard touchdown run.
The flip into the end zone, yeah.
Yeah.
Just pure athleticism. Ties it at 21-21 with over 11 minutes to play. There's a whole new ball game.
And that's when the defense and special teams really took over. They started generating turnovers.
Sam Williams forces that fumble on Saquon Barkley. Huge play. Cowboys recover.
And then the special teams play. The punt return.
Oh, an absolute gift. Elijah Clark and Marquise Bell just destroy the returner. Ball comes loose. Trent Sieg jumps on it. Phenomenal field position for Dallas.
But this is where things get controversial. They get the ball back, great field position, and they drive down to the 1-yard line.
Again. And Schottenheimer has a choice. Kick the easy chip shot field goal to take the lead, 24-21, or go for the touchdown on 4th and goal.
And he went for it.
He went for it. And they got stopped. Nothing.
I have to say, in that moment, I thought that was going to be the decision that cost them the game. You take the points there. You've just come all the way back, take the lead, trust your defense.
I see your point, but I kind of disagree. I think you have to look at the mindset. That Eagles defense was gassed. He was sending a message, we're going to punch this in and end it. The knockout blow.
Still seems like a massive risk.
It was. And he even admitted it after the game and said the defense bailed me out.
Well,
but I think that aggressive, no-quit attitude is what got them back in the game in the first place.
Well, thank goodness for that defense then, because they did bail him out. They get a huge sack from Osa Oduizua on Jalen Hurts, force a punt.
And give the ball back to Prescott.
Yeah.
At their own 27-yard line, with 1 minute and 35 seconds left, the stage is set.
This is where Dak was just surgical, perfect clock management, hits Jake Ferguson for 19 yards.
Then the game changer. The 24-yard pass to George Pickens, that put them squarely in field goal range.
He spikes it with 4 seconds left. Aubrey comes on, and redemption is complete.
The 42-yarder is perfect, seals the 24-21 win.
And we have to talk about what Prescott accomplished personally during this game. It was historic.
It really was. In the middle of all that chaos, he became the Cowboys' all-time leading passer, passing Tony Romo.
He finished with 354 yards passing, 2 passing TDs, 1 rushing TD. The offense as a whole put up 473 total yards.
And get this. That's the most yards the Eagles' defense had allowed all season long. They didn't just win. They completely dismantled a great defense in the final 3 quarters.
It was all about grit, as Jerry Jones said after the game. And, there was an emotional side to this, too. The win came after the loss of their teammate, Marshawn Nealon. You could feel that extra motivation.
For sure. That kind of emotional fuel is powerful. So the win moves them to 5-5-1, keeps their playoff hopes alive, even if they're a little faint.
But there's no time to celebrate. They have to turn right around and play the Chiefs on Thanksgiving.
A brutal turnaround. But as you're thinking about this game, here's the final thought I want to leave you with.
Okay.
Think about the Eagles' defense. They had been so good all year. But in the final 42 minutes of this game, they just melted down. They gave up the most yards they've allowed all season.
Yeah.
So the question is, what does that sudden collapse suggest about the true resiliency of that Eagles team moving forward? Can they handle that kind of sustained pressure when it really matters?
That's a huge question heading into the end of the season.